And I'm 2 minutes, no, we have 8 minutes for questions. So, and did everybody see one of those boxes? And why don't you switch the boxes from one side to the other? So wherever one box is, take it to the other side. Question?
Yeah, when you say that the machine makes a replica of itself, do you mean it makes all the parts and then somebody assembles them?
Yes, exactly. There were proposals to send totally automated machines to the moon and have them make more machines and build cities, and then we go and there's a city waiting for us. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The RepRack project is an attempt by basically hobbyists to make a machine where most of the parts can be made by that same machine, like that parent-child picture that was shown.
But it needs somebody else to assemble it.
Yes, you need someone to assemble it. And in a sense, they cheat because they use metal rods, they use screws and nuts, they use electric wires. So in reality, most of the parts are made by other machines. But if we had one machine that made metal rods, another machine that could, a lathe that could make fasteners like screws, and then another machine to make plastic sheet, a laser cutter, and one of the 3D printers, you could make almost any other machine, at least any machine made out of plastic.
But you still need some assembly.
Yes. You still need people to assemble it, or really good, dexterous robots.
You just reduce the number of parts considerably,
right.
but still need assembly. Okay, thank you.
Ian.
Yeah, Bruce. Could this system be scaled up? It was an automated process to send to Mars a colonization mission, and for it to actually build a makeshift habitat. So, and could it be? Is there like some sort of refining method that could be used to use local materials? Because that'd be fantastic if you don't have to take anything there.
Yeah. Let me give an apology first. I had been watching this field for years, but I didn't pay close attention to it until the price dropped, to the point where the people in this room could buy several of them and play with them. So I don't know a lot of the answers. I've never actually run one of these machines, by the way. I will confess that. Yeah. But there have been proposals to manufacture, say, concrete igloos on the moon from extruded concrete. There is a machine on Earth that will extrude concrete about the size of a concrete block, and it just goes around under computer control, extruding concrete and making a little temporary form. I personally think that you wouldn't use the 3D printer for the big items, that you'd have one machine that makes sheets of material, cuts them and assembles them, and then a smaller machine that makes the intricate small parts.
Yeah, because the first time I saw this was it was some architects. They were playing around with a 3D machine, and there was like a time-lapse video of the 3D printer working, and it built quite a fairly big structure. Obviously, it was still scaled. It wasn't something you could live in. But I find that interesting how you could sculpt a very intricate structure. Oh, yeah. And I suddenly thought, well, if you don't want to send too much stuff to Mars, just send the machine.
Yep. By the way, I did take a number of architecture courses in college, and one of our techniques years ago was you buy thin sheets of styrofoam or cardboard, you cut them with an X-Acto knife, layer them up to make the landscape, make the walls, the ceilings. Yeah. And now standard equipment in an architecture studio, company, or school is a laser jet cutter that cuts cardboard, and then the students design the building in CAD on a computer, semi-automated controls the shapes to cut. The machine cuts them out, and the student assembles the model of the building. So they walk in with models this big of skyscrapers and city parks and things like that.
Cool, thank you.
So I would encourage anybody to go into an architecture studio at a university if you can. Yes?
Hi, Bruce. Where can you get these machines?
Makerbot.com, $750 plus postage. They are not warranted. I tried to arrange a group purchase, and they wouldn't give a discount. It's really a small company. Don't expect good service, by the way.
Where are they located?
In New York City.
Oh, New York City?
Yeah. There's a guy named Isaac who does the entire customer support, and he's very busy. Most customer support is from the user group, not from the company. So I want to stress this is a hobby thing. Right. It is not a production machine yet.
Would you have their phone number?
I would just look on the web to get it.
Okay.
You know, yeah, it's makerbot.com, makerbot.com. Let me mention Stratasys is another company. They had the $15,000 machine. If you're a corporation and you have to produce mechanical objects on a deadline, you know, and you're paying engineers good salaries, buy the Stratasys system for now.
Could we get one and start putting things together, maybe?
Yes, we can.
I think that would be a good project to start with.
Yes, that's exactly what I recommend doing, is that within this group and an extended community, a few of us should buy these machines and a bunch of us should program
I'll go
parts
for that.
for them. So put your name down on that
Yeah, I
sign-up
did.
list and make a note.
Okay, thanks,
So,
Bruce.
Is the next speaker here? I think I have 2 minutes. Is the next speaker here? Okay, you can come up and set up and unplug anytime. Yes?
Do you think it's possible that this might be the basis for returning manufacturing to the United States from China?
Yes and no. As I said, I'm kind of new to this field, so I'm talking off the cuff. But the high-paid jobs are the design work, and I would hate to send offshore the design jobs and then have the technicians manning the machines here. There is, by the way, one of the incentives for these hobbyists that are doing this is they want anybody to be able to manufacture most anything without going to a store. So if you're out on a farm in western Kansas, you don't go to the Sears Roebuck catalog anymore. You go to the internet, you download a CAD file that someone made, and you print yourself a part. Next.
Yeah, if you're going to do water processing on Mars, you're going to have a lot of sludge, which could be made into Adobe. Do you think you could probably do something with Adobe and something on this?
Okay, that is a completely different topic.
Yeah, same.
You probably could make an extruder for Adobe. I'd recommend that you take the Adobe, make bricks, sinter them,
Yeah.
and have a robot stacking them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Sir, are you going to use a computer and a display?
I was hoping that somebody would have a computer, but I didn't bring mine.
Okay. Do you have a memory stick you can plug in? Okay. Next question.
A comment and a question. I know 2 years ago there was a project at MSFC where they were doing a subscale extruder using lunar simulant for concrete, and that was on the large scale, so that might be something to look into. The question was, several years ago NASA published a colonization study that proposed the concept of a seed factory, the self-replicating system that you mentioned. Given the current state of the art, could you imagine a package that could be truly self-replicating if provided an ISRU resource stream?
Yeah, a total self-replicating package. It's fun in science fiction. For the moon, you could probably do it under human control. That is, you'd send up some teleoperated robots, and they might even be anthropomorphic, where they have two hands and eyes where cameras where our eyes are, and they might do some of the work. The Space Studies Institute, by the way, had a lot of talk about that. Go to ssi.org, look at some of the old studies from the 1990s. I don't think it's worth it. I think it'd be easier to do some control from Earth and do it that way. But you certainly could probably do it without people present. But okay, my goal is to get people into space. And so why beat yourself to death to get machines into space first, be automated so they can prepare for people? Just send people and machines at the same time, and you satisfy my goal of getting people into space. So,
Thanks.